Let's dive into the complete and narrated chapter of Hunter x Hunter 405. Ready? After the intro. Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. Before we get into the content, please like, subscribe, and activate the notification bell so you don't miss anything. Now let's get to the video. At the beginning of the chapter, we see a smile as someone says, one more. He is playing cards while two elderly people comment. The woman says, I thought poker was played with a single deck. The man replies, it's QX, a type of poker played with multiple decks, but this one is 503. You can add as many cards as you want until you have identical cards, and you can also win more. A man adds, if you win, you receive the amount of your bet multiplied by the number of one more you played. But you don't have the option to quit, which is why this game is also called, I've seen countless people fail in this game. Text translator's note, go to heaven, I am the page 2. We see that the man playing is Hisoka. Title chapter 405, theater piece. Initial text, amidst the succession war he enjoyed himself alone. As we see people walking through the casino, we follow Hisoka's thoughts. I'm totally normal. When I heard about the extermination of the ants, my heart didn't skip a beat. It was because the opponents were ants, even the huge thunderous noises that occurred here many times. When I discovered it was a group ability manifested with the help of a Nen beast, I lost all interest in an instant. Page 4. We see Hisoka still lost in thought. I'm normal. I don't get excited by... No, I literally can't stand interspecies deliriums or orgies. I'm someone who just wants to make love in a deadly way with another human being in a one-on-one confrontation. Footnote, in Japanese, the kanjis mean destroy each other, but the reading given by the author means to love. Hisoka continues, it's sad, but it's fine. It's not like I'm against having fun. Page 5. Then we see another Hisoka leaning against a wall, hiding. He says, I'm surprised. I thought I'd see you on level 1 in a VIP casino. Don't tell me. This is a fake Hisoka. He also, do you want me to turn into Hisoka? We see a quick flashback of a conversation between Krollo and Bonolenov. Krollo says, just stay in a place where the Mafia is likely to be. Sooner or later, one of them will approach you and offer you a luxury suite. Bonolenov asks, but why? Krollo responds, to maintain balance. The Mafia sees people like us or Hisoka as wild cards. It affects their reputation if we roam freely in their territory. But they also can't recruit us, as doing so, according to Kakin tradition, would likely cause a conflict. This threatens the balance, and the Mafia hates that. I see that if the Mafia thinks they've isolated Hisoka elsewhere, they won't have to worry about letting the brigade move freely to search for him. This way, we can look for the real Hisoka while allowing them to keep up appearances. But what the Mafia could do is act as a promoter who wants to invite a master like Hisoka to fight. Back to the present. The fake Hisoka says it's very likely the real Hisoka has already made contact with one of the princesses and has gained boarding on the ship on level 1 as a VIP. If the Mafia invites you to the upper level, be very careful not to encounter him. The boss's prediction was correct. The fact that he hid this during the meeting, I realize he wants to be the only one to resolve this issue. Krollo requested, if you find Hisoka, transform into someone else and wait for me. I will decide whether we should engage in a fight or not. Bonolenov says, you don't need to tell me anything. In any case, my power is useless against Hisoka. It's impossible for me to transform and do anything while dodging his Nen. He then spins, transforming into Owl. Page 7. Bonolenov says, metamorphosis. This is one of the Bonarov's powers. He can transform into anyone he's spoken to before. The duration he can remain transformed equals the time he spent face-to-face with the target. There's no size restriction for the transformation, though when he turns into someone smaller than him, he feels that the smaller the person, the shorter the transformation time. Personal anecdote. The woman who could read the mind of anyone she struck, she discovered me, so I had to kill her. Although I spared the infusion guy so I could gain access to the upper level, I wonder if that will cause any problems. Even if her body is found later, they won't think Hisoka killed her, right? Then we see in the lower panel the moment Lynch discovered him. Lynch asks, "Are you Hisoka?" He internally responds, "No, I'm an imposter disguised as Hisoka." The fake Hisoka says, "That was my voice just now. Oh no, I've been exposed. That was my voice just now." The infusion guy probably heard it too. Sakura asks, "Are you Hisoka?" The fake Hisoka thinks, "Huh? Didn't he hear?" In thought, I see. This ability to hear the spirit of those attacked is only audible to the user and the one hit. The fake Sakura says, "Are you okay? He said he was Hisoka, didn't he?" Lynch responds, "No, he was an imposter. His body told me that. He's trying to trick us. He's either with the H or with the brigade. Either way, we can't ignore this. I'm going to alert Hinrigi and prioritize eliminating this guy." The fake Sakura says, "Oh, really? That's a shame." Now, as the fake owl, we see him in thought. "I killed her and then transformed into her, tricked the infusion guy, and lured him into the cinema. If all goes well, they'll think she was killed by someone else after the two separated. Right? Right?" All is well, at least from the infusion guy's point of view. The altercation with my fake Hisoka should not seem directly linked to her death. Even if her body is found, the Mafia probably won't mobilize their forces to go up to the upper level and kill Hisoka. Probably. Maybe. I think. I'm so lost. I mean, I could ask the boss, but I'd like to leave the real Hisoka to Finks and company if possible. We all know the boss is still in shock over the incident with Sharnalk and Korotopi, and he must have realized we noticed it, so he's keeping up an even calmer facade, and he's putting on an even calmer front, and the vicious cycle continues. All the boss is looking for on this ship is actually the page needed to finally take care of Hisoka. He wants to handle this himself. That's why everyone wants to deal with Hisoka first before the boss really does it. Kuroro, we all know why you left the number free. After Hisoka, we're going to put an end to this mask once and for all. Page 8. The scene shifts, and a man appears on TV. Note, this is the face of the man who ruined Sarasa's life, seen in chapter 393. The broadcast says, "It has been 10 years since the atrocious murder of Mr. Risnorth, president of the Mama Help Foundation, dedicated to assisting and rescuing unfortunate children. Currently, the killer is still at large. As we remember the achievements of the deceased president, many people feel a new rush of admiration for his greatness and anxiously hope that the authorities identify and arrest the guilty." We see Krollo featured prominently on the page, while a viewer comments, "Isn't this the kind of business where they completely revise the manifesto of the guilty in the Mile report, saying it was false information or something like that? Is this the kind of business, or do you not want the guilty to be captured? It's really grim. The violent death of a philanthropic businessman, lol. It's funny to see how far some people will accept everything they see on TV and tabloids and on social media." Page 9, the scene changes, showing a conversation between Nobuna, Phaeton, Finks, and the sub-chief of the Char family, Ken I. Wang. Nobunaga asks, "Do you want to confirm something?" "Which?" "The family has a long past with you and the Shu, doesn't it?" Tajao replies, "That's not true." Wang explains, "The family recently changed its leader." Nobunaga observes, "Oh, in that case, it's hard for you to predict what the opponent might think, isn't it? And it would also be complicated for you to notice that they, in fact, no longer function as a mafia family." "Huh?" Wang says, "Yeah, well, what do you mean?" Nobunaga responds, "Literally read what I said. Is it really the family that is on board this ship right now? What do you think?" Page 10. Tajao and Wang exchange glances. Tajao comments, "Now that's an interesting reflection. So if it's not the II family, who is it?" Wang explains, "They even organized an official succession ceremony. Our leader was there as well as us, while supposing the former leader was manipulated by Nen and died of a disease." Finks asks, "What kind of person is the new leader of the AH family?" Wang replies, "It's a young woman named Morena. She is a descendant of the royal family, but is not eligible for succession. For generations, it's been common to appoint a royal without a claim to the throne as the head of each mafia family in Kakin. That's why she's not completely unknown to us. But as you said, we don't know her well enough to understand her goals. As for knowing if the opponent is really the H family, the answer is yes, formally at least. but we don't know what her objective is. Did your group find something? Nobunaga says, I don't know if we can talk about concrete evidence, but I noticed something after fighting with them. Tajao says, but when we attacked their hideout, their actions were coordinated as if they'd received instructions from above. Nobunaga explains, the top decides the overall strategy, while the individuals choose the more precise tactics. The brigade follows this philosophy, and, in a way, it seems like their members act the same way. The problem is, what's the goal behind it? What kind of orders? If the objective of their orders is to destroy the other Mafia families, then I can understand why they're killing other Mafia members, but they also massacre totally innocent civilians. Wang comments, I don't know. Maybe the A part is something different. Nobunaga agrees, exactly. The EH family acts to destroy everything. Maybe the A part is something different. Tajao asks, everything? Nobunaga explains, when all the passengers of this ship, including the royal family, in other words, Kakin in person, a cluster of locked cabins like this cruise is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. On top of that, there could be several objectives behind this too. Page 12, Nobunaga says, to gain the power necessary to destroy everything, they kill to obtain Nen power. Finks comments, we can even say that the search for sacrifices to obtain supernatural powers is the oldest thing in the world. You're aware of this too, aren't you? About the oaths and limitations. Phaeton explains, if they foresee killing everyone anyway, if they establish the number of people killed as a limitation, they gain a condition to produce a powerful Nen. Taihao observes, I don't know if a Mafia member like me is in a position to say this, but it's really crazy. Wang agrees, well, it's not really a healthy thing. Tajao continues, I'm not just talking about the EH, I'm also talking about you guys for thinking about this. The circumstances that led to our formation are distorted in the first place. That's why we place great importance on balance and take pride in supporting our nation from the shadows. We consider disputes as a last resort, and if there's ever a problem, it's really more of a deterrent. We also consider civilians as our patrons, so we never view them as targets. Tajao concludes, I understand now, they are EH only in name, and something completely different inside. They are not like us, the Kakin Mafia. Taihao states, both the Char family and the CU family will spare no effort to cooperate with you. Crush the Hyli for us. He opens a door and Nobunaga asks, so we're going first? Finks adds, let the rest of the crew and Hinraig know. Wang, deep in thought, wonders, so what are you going to do? He then says, we'll have our subordinates notify them. Wang thinks, Morena, you're in deep trouble. It seems they're going to find you sooner than I expected. I have a feeling you'll have to play your ace before the time is right. At that moment, they spot Morena, page 15. Morena is seen conversing with a tall, strong, masked man. She says, it seems the funeral of the 9th Prince Halkenberg is approaching. Many people will gather to offer their condolences. This is our perfect opportunity. Will you be able to go? The man replies, of course. This man is introduced as Dogman, a level 2 enhancer. He confidently states, thanks to everyone's cooperation, I've managed to level up drastically. I can sense a person's Nen type within a 5-meter radius. At 2 meters, I can tell if a person has learned Nen or not. Don't worry, I'll handle it. Page 16, Morena continues, when Dog spots the person I'm looking for, he'll send a signal. This will mark the beginning of the end. Vicante chimes in, that's right, I'm excited. Another man adds, sincerely. Morena replies, yes, you're correct. I'll do my best to ensure the outcome is not a no. Sincerely. Let's go. Hey, Sodan, when we find the target, how will I notify you? Sodan responds, I'll be by your side, so just discreetly point him out, and I'll take care of the rest. The condition for my kidnapping skill to work is that the target has not learned Nen skills. I should be able to bring him here on my own. Another guard inquires, Morena, where's the rest of the team? Morena answers, they're leveling up in the waste treatment area. They're eager to get revenge on Hinraig from the CU. The chapter concludes with a glimpse of Quarol, Teveleres, and Domon-O, as Morena mentioned. Level 51. Insane. So it's time to hunt those mafiosos. Finks, Phaeton, and Nobunaga are seen walking down a dark corridor. As they open a door, Taihao warns, All right, from here on out, things are going to get complicated. The three then look surprised. Finks exclaims, "Whoa," and Nobunaga adds, "But what is this?" The final text reveals that Hisoka and the spiders are making their move. In the next chapter, they will encounter a fierce battle for the Succession War. This marks the end of chapter 405 of Hunter x Hunter. If readers enjoyed it, they are encouraged to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and activate the notification bell. Until next time, and thank you.